Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you have to do, make it last. Wait for the perfect.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, episode 847. Tuesday, we've been talking about professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And we got a show for you tonight. First of all, joining us from Bacon, New York, he's the only Mayhemmer with a future endeavor letter from the WWE. It is Mad Mike.
Quack, quack.
What? Wait, what?
Quack, 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 quack,
He's wearing-
quack, quack,
he's-
quack, quack,
oh,
quack, quack,
oh.
quack, 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 quack,
He
quack,
is wearing
quack,
a Mighty Ducks jersey. I guess that's
Yes.
a sports puck thing.
Sorg,
or a
Sorg,
Disney thing, I suppose.
Sorg. I've had 3 hours of sleep today, and that occurred at 4 in the afternoon, so I'm kind of quacking up.
Oh, perfect. You're in the right vibe for this show. We also have back with us now a series regular, and I think officially a co-host at this point, Tony Kincaid back with us, the voice of 2PW and RWA, and he has survived the violence of this weekend that we'll talk about later in the show.
I mean, physically, but emotionally, I don't.
Well, yeah.
I don't even know.
That should be the RWA Hall sign.
You'll get home, but at what price?
It's Will all of you survive the show? Don't know. Don't send us your therapy bills. Anyways, and also with us, he is the other voice and the longest running voice of the Renegade Wrestling Alliance in its 14-year history. And also Mad Mike clone, Doc. Oh, God, I almost called you Doc Remedy. Fuck.
Wow. What's going on, man?
You know how many times?
Quack, quack.
Hey, look. Nice
Quack, quack,
jersey. Nice jersey.
Thank you.
Doc,
Thank you.
Michael,
Hey,
Doc,
brilliant minds
Dougherty.
think alike.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. You know how many times I almost tagged Doc Remedy trying to plug for the show?
And by the way, for those paying attention, we are wearing different jerseys.
What?
Yes.
We are wearing
Oh,
different
you
jerseys.
got a
Yeah.
C on
He's
yours.
wearing Conway, and I'm wearing Banks.
Okay.
Yep.
Somebody out there is excited about that. I don't know what's happening.
Mhm.
I don't know what your sports puck. I am sporting this brand new. After 15 years, I finally got a Dean Radford shirt. So
Say hi.
what's that?
Just go and wave it. I'm just telling him he can
Oh,
say hi.
hey, Bodie's here. What's up, Bodie?
What's going on, Bodie? They want to know how you're doing.
What's up, Hardcore Bodie?
Hey, hardcore Bodie. Yeah, he is hardcore because this morning he slipped on black ice, fell down. As the bus is stopping for him, he nips up and gets right on the bus like a champ.
Wow.
He's hardcore.
Yeah.
He's hardcore.
Nice.
He's hardcore.
He's hardcore.
You
He's a
already
good champ
teach him?
for you.
You already teach him how to bump at that age?
Revs. That's Rev and Taylor's job.
Oh, that saves you.
And also how to drink.
That'll save
Oh,
you.
definitely.
Oh no, that's
Oh, boy.
That's not great.
Oh.
That's
the
when he's
other part.
21. When he's 21, I'm just gonna hand him to him.
Oh,
Just,
you
you know,
just be like, have fun.
when he wakes up
remember-
in another state, call.
Just remember, Barks has bite. That's
you,
all-
you
all
know,
I'll say.
you know, sending a 21-year-old on their birthday to a night with the Rev and Chris Taylor is pretty much the equivalent of the old like smoke this entire pack of cigarettes.
Yes, got a point there.
I think you'll be okay from that. Okay, so this is why I'm not a parent. So anyway,
There's a
you
quack
imagine-
chant going on in the chat room.
there is
Quack, quack, quack.
a quacking from Florida and California respectively here.
Excellent.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Jesse and Alex in the chat rooms.
love it.
Anyways, this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, and I'll pull up the doc, but that's okay. Most of it's from memory because you can check out everything at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. You can email us at that email address.
Good times.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com, and you can also message us at 412-206-WMS0. The phone lines are open. Leave a voicemail. let us know. It's already in your phone under your ex-girlfriend's listing. Also, tweet us at Mayhem Show, Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook group. A lot of great discussion. Also, the Discord. We're also conversing over there. Is Kincaid triggered with the mention of Rev and Chris Taylor? Says Tina in the chat room. Yeah. We lost you for like 2 months there, didn't we? Something like that.
It was a while. I don't know where I was. But
someday,
I do know.
So, did you experience a ping pong show?
Not where I was.
Okay.
Where I was going, there was no show.
Oh, there's no ping pong. Just the.
So you went to talk shoe?
Oh. There's no
jokes for the old hats in the room.
There's no ping pong show, just a
Jesus.
ping. And of course we're live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern or after the NXT Overrun, the talkie NXT Overrun. What the hell are we doing? Over on the Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook, the YouTube page, Twitch for the Sorgatron Media, and also on the IndieWrestling.us YouTube, Twitch, and on Indie Wrestling Network. If you are over there for free, don't have to be a member, but if you like to be over there, right beside all of your new RWA Uprising, they just got posted today for members. Also available on other formats. Page going up soon at IndieWrestling.us. And of course, thank you to our Patreon supporters, patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Patreon, you have a special message for a fabulous opportunity for Mayhem Mania coming to you this Thursday. Check your email, get your, I asked for something, get that in, and you're going to find out what's going to happen with that next Thursday on the very first edition of Mayhem Mania, hosted by the Dutters. The Dutters of Mayhem, if you will. But thank you to our current Patreon supporters, our friends at the fan of the show level, Bo Diggity! Woo! As well as Ed Burke, Team Ham and Fist, and Bobby of J-Town. At the Poppy Club level, Dave, Profpod partner, clipper of all things Sorg related. He's been getting a lot of my emotions, apparently, lately. I've noticed that on the social medias. And also, newest Patreon supporter, as broke late in the show last week, Rats in a Trench Coat, Tony Kincaid. Do I say your name or just Rats in a Trench Coat?
You can just say my name because the Rats in a Trench Coat thing is an inside joke that like 4 people will get.
But still, I think it's fun to say it.
No, make him say Rats in the Trench Coat every single time.
The Rat in the Trench Coat, Tony Kincaid.
Okay, all right.
That's a different kind of.
I think we need to work on that context there.
No, leave it. Leave it ambiguous.
Sunny in 97.
The official Wrestling Mayhem Show rat, Tony Kincaid.
Well, now we're just. Now we're just.
I mean,
now we're just putting.
You see why you want to be specific here.
Yeah, but like, remember, I'm your boss, so I will dock you for this.
Okay. Oh, I know. You should have seen how I treated the last time I had a boss. Anyways.
Chachi was never the same again.
No, when I had like a real like corporate boss, it did not go well. Anyways, Pizza Club level. This is why I've been independent for the last 13 years. Pizza Club level, Doc Remedy and the Riz. And thank you, Riz, also for chipping in on Awesome Cast earlier. It was great to have Riz on, as well as an old friend. Not that old. Maybe there's a couple extra olds in there. Amanda from San Diego joining us on Awesome Cast this week. A side note, if you're interested in croc balls, watch the end of that show. Anyways, I'm just going to leave that there. Manager level, our friends Bradley and the overly caffeinated mother of dragons, Tina Keys. You put an extra title in there once in the chat room. I'm going to leave it in the doc. I'm just saying. Anyways, now I got to Photoshop Rizzo the Rat in a Mayhem Show shirt.
Yes.
I'm
Please let
okay
it
with
happen.
that. I'm okay with that.
Please let it happen.
You can support the show, and we can pontificate on your name as well at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. All right, let's get into the news of the week. Of course, I think first good news of the week, Mark Briscoe is set to wrestle on AEW television.
Before we get to that, first real good news.
Yeah.
Jay Briscoe's daughters seem to be doing better.
Good.
Yeah, that from last report I saw, they seem to be doing better. Still have a lot of injuries and a lot of recovery time, but seem to be doing better. So
I guess we should generally discuss, because at the time it had just happened. I don't think we had a lot of details about what was happening with Jay Briscoe. Like literally, the accident had probably happened just a couple hours before we even went to broadcast here on the show last Tuesday.
Yeah.
Jay Briscoe was involved. I believe at least his daughters were in the car. I don't think his wife was.
yes, his daughters were as well.
Yes. And there was somebody crossed over, and it sounded like a head-on collision. They were both driving Silverados, which are, from what I recall, very large trucks.
Yeah.
So, and of course, Jay was not wearing a seatbelt. So PSA there. But I think both
His daughters were.
His daughters were, yes, of course. And I think him and somebody involved in the other car, presumably the driver, I would say, both passed in the accident.
Yes.
So that's where we're at there. And of course, the other person driving the other car apparently had issues when they crossed over. So at the time I read, there was no other information. So and I haven't been up on those details. I've been more interested in what's going on with the daughters. So
I think there is a GoFundMe.
There's a GoFundMe going around.
Guys
I've
like
heard
Jericho,
Mhm.
Owens, basically any big name you can think of. They've all donated a lot to help out for medical bills and whatnot.
And in addition, there's a T-shirt that AEW is running.
Yes.
That the
Mhm.
proceeds go directly to that fund. So if you want something to wear on top of your donation, you can get that T-shirt. And it's actually a really good-looking T-shirt. too.
Yeah. I think I might be picking that up in a couple of days. But with that, one thing that was kind of
Thank you,
weird.
Tina. Tina's gonna post it in the group for everyone.
Thank you. So we as far as AEW went, we've seen a lot of armbands throughout the week on both SmackDown and Dynamite and Rampage, of course. Like I noticed the Viking Raiders, who spent some time on Ring of Honor as the War Machine, had them, of course, and then obviously they would have run into the Briscoes there. They did tape a Ring of Honor tribute show for Mark at the Wednesday night taping in Fresno, California. I know the match listing had leaked out. It sounds like they're going to be putting that on the YouTube for Ring of Honor.
Dude, one of the matches on there is Cesaro versus Daniels, and sure,
Mhm.
sign me up for that.
Yes, absolutely.
Sounds like Mayhem Mania season.
Absolutely. I actually got to run into old friend of the show, Christopher Daniels, on Saturday night. He helped me with my cord. We were rerunning cord. I had somebody new run the cords out, and they weren't the way that I wanted, so I was kind of rerunning them a little bit. And it's during the Fan Fest, and they put some of the tables around the ring. And he's, oh, hey man, if you run into Silver Haas here, through the ring, and I was like, oh, there's no weapons under there tonight. He was like, no, it looks clear. I was like, okay, and I was like, I'll get it, man, I'll get it. You got to deal with the fans. I'm like, no, I'll help you out. So he completely reran my cord under the ring for me.
Aw.
I'm just like, man, thank you so much.
Christopher Daniels, friend of the tech people.
Yeah, friend of the tech people, But no,
he's spicy. He's cautious of wires.
Absolutely. So, and I'm sorry there's a divergent, but so two new members of the production team for Sidekick Media, Christopher Daniels and apparently Scotty Too Hotty, who borrowed the camera from Emily twice during his match Saturday night
did.
at RWA. I watched the footage. It's fantastic. I ain't mad. Chachi's not happy with it, but and Missy wasn't happy with it. I'm getting messages while I'm doing the other show in South Bend, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And we'll get into that later. Anyways, back around. So they did the ring.
As long as he wasn't banging it.
That's right.
I think you're fine.
Wow.
Oh wow. Hold on.
I meant the camera.
That's credit. No, this is credit. That
Yes.
song just
Banging it.
haunts your dreams.
I thought there was more to that song until I had to wait for him to do 3 entrances to it. What the hell is he, Lodi? Anyways,
Do you know
Nothing
Lodi
touches
is?
that entrance.
Do you know
Nothing.
Lodi is idol spelled backwards?
no, I actually did never. I really never realized that. So now we need. I actually never realized that. So now we need
So we figured out what Sorg learned in wrestling this week.
Idol can we do Lodi versus Justin Idol just based on that?
Please.
No, I also just want to see Lodi versus
Please.
Bella.
Hey, Bodie. I like that hat.
Go ahead, say it. You know you want to say it. Go ahead. What? About this. What you want to say. Go ahead. Say the sentence.
I like this hat.
Yeah.
All right, there you
Don't corrupt the youth.
I love it.
Don't
Anyways.
corrupt the youth.
Anyways.
He loves his hat.
Understand that
By the
when-
way, my hat is at my office.
Okay.
Understand when you have Doc on the show, you're going to have 8 or 9 chances for Bodie to try to.
No, I love it. No,
Oh no,
I-
that's I have no issue with that. I don't like the hat.
He's not.
See,
in
I'm
It's not
torn.
like I
between-
gave him yet.
No, it's torn between. I'm like, do I go full heel because this is kind of like a semi-shoot, semi-real like situation? Like,
play.
do I
Thread the needle.
Yeah.
Mercedes is still wearing the hat here in the studio. So
Here, we'll thread the needle by me saying, Bodie, either grab a mic and join, or I'm not
Yeah,
cutting your
seriously.
pancakes this time.
We should have Bodie back at some
I
point
think you're-
to make a move in Mayhem Mania.
yeah, that should happen actually. So
Yes, that is 100% a thing you
Yeah.
should do.
We'll work on that. I feel like we did that before.
Actually,
did
we should have Bodie and Mason on the same week in Mayhem.
Yeah.
That's what we really should do, because Mayhem Mania is for the kids.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, it is until all the swearing happens.
Hey, we had Miss Piggy and Beaker booked last year.
Oh my god. Oh man.
Sorg, it got weird.
Yeah, it got weird. And now you have Dutters involved. And you don't know what the rules are in her Trapper Keeper. Anyways. Oh, then we'll have
Wow.
Tina. We'll have Junior in for Tina. Oh man.
Sure.
We should have.
Yes, actually, yes, we should have an all-child.
We should have the
Mayhem
kids eat
Mania.
free night on Mayhem Mania. Somebody make a note over in Slack. for
I'll
me for
throw
later,
him
please.
right
And
in
you
his
know
chair
what?
and let him
You know-
go.
Sorg, you know who our in-studio guest should be? Zeke.
Zeke.
Because Zeke's like what, 15?
Zeke will be the leader of the.
The leader of the kids revolution.
Yes, he'll be the leader of the Lost Boys.
Oh! Oh my god.
Oh, there's
Zeke,
a
that's a
faction.
shirt.
Least
That's a shirt.
Zeke
Leader of the Lost
Mercer.
Boys, Zeke Mercer.
Zeke Mercer and the Lost Boys. There you go. I'm
Zeke
sorry.
doesn't
Oh my
even get
God.
what any of those references
No,
could
he
be.
does not.
He doesn't get that it could be
Sit
Peter
down
Pan.
and watch
He
Hook,
doesn't get that it could be the
motherfucker.
Lost Boys. He doesn't get the show Lost. I'm pretty sure he was too when that show happened. He doesn't know any of that.
Oh
could
my
possibly
god. Anyways, I'm trying to get back to this. So apparently Warner Discovery still had an embargo on Jay Briscoe over the tribute, but now they have allowed Mark to come in as a tribute to him. So
be. He's
there's
wrestling
that.
Jay Lethal.
And they have Wrestling Jay Lethal, both longtime friends of the Briscoes. So that's cool to see that they're doing that and at least doing something on the show that's a little more real. So
Yes.
apparently Jay was the only one embargoed. They just like from the report I'm seeing, I think it was on Wrestling Inc. They just presumed that Mark would not come without him to AEW. So, and this goes, we talked about last week, I don't need to reiterate, but, obviously Jay's comments probably almost a decade ago, and of course, mostly, I literally put out a clip, I think, today on the social media from last week that talked about the vindication of Jay Briscoe. So, but you listen to last week's episode for that conversation. So,
Well,
go ahead.
as an addendum to that conversation,
Sure.
everything we said, Podner cut, put on social media, tagged Effie in it, Effie liked it.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
nothing we said was out of pocket. So anyone who wants to complain about what we said, take it up with other people.
Mm-hmm.
I stand by our comments 100%. Now, we were very exhausted and very emotionally. I can't tell you
Because
how
it was
emotionally
also
exhausted.
fresh too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was.
It was very
also
fresh at the
extremely
time.
fresh.
Yes. So, Junior and Zeke are practically the same height. So,
Perfect.
Bodie might be taller than Zeke at this point.
oh wow.
He has grown like a weed.
He
has
has grown
grown
like
like a weed.
a foot in like a month.
Oh, we definitely have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, we need to
Yes,
see if anyone else has like a child of mayhem that we can bring in.
Who has a kid we can borrow?
Someone give us your kids.
All right, Podner, that audio is please,
No,
please
no,
clip.
no.
Who has a kid
no.
we can borrow? Put it out there. You know the places. But all over-
God, if I had kids when I was supposed to, I would have just like they would just be my
Genius.
They would,
Jesus, Junior's taller than me.
you know, if I had
We gotta
kids,
start calling him Senior.
if I had kids when I intend to, it would be just like how like parents would have like a bunch of kids just to help tend the farm. It would be like that, but they all be my production assistants. And anyways,
Sorg, I'm pretty sure you'd be breaking several child labor laws.
no.
To be
what are they doing
fair-
on the farm?
To be fair, Bodie's ability to tear down a ring is actually top notch. He can.
Yes,
Mhm.
Bodie
Yeah,
can
like-
tear down a ring.
Like Bodie can tear a ring down better than
Yes.
some trainees I know, and I'm not going to name names.
Absolutely. Anyways, okay.
Okay.
My
So
man.
should I try to do
Very
more
proud of you.
news?
Tony
I mean,
put you over.
yeah,
Believe it or
sure.
not. Sorry.
Yeah,
All
let's,
right.
let's actually
Do,
focus this
do we
show
want
for
to
once
talk
in our lives.
WWE or do we want to talk Friends of the Show?
I mean, we could do both. We can do one first and then talk about Raw 30.
Okay. All right. So then let's do the fun one, and maybe we'll talk about Raw 30 later. Reelz TV's Joe Dombrowski. Actually, I should do this third segment. No. No, we'll do this now. Let's make it quick.
Okay.
Joe Dombrowski, traveling with him this weekend to Warrior Wrestling, and this is where he divulged to me, hey, did you know I'm going to be on Reelz TV? I'm like, so I don't need to call you Mexico's Joe Dombrowski anymore. I can call you Reelz TV's Joe Dombrowski. He says, yes. I was like, do you prefer it? He's like, maybe. I was like, I don't care. Anyways, so yeah, they announced that MLW, Major League Wrestling, is going to be on Reelz TV. Apparently, and this is one we had to have a conversation with him about. A top 30 television station in America.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right. Go with
All
that
right.
idea. But yeah, so they're going to be premiering, I believe, February.
So they're number 30.
February 7th. And this is where it starts affecting us. Mike, guess what time on Tuesday nights MLW with Joe Dombrowski is going to be on Reelz TV?
Are they competing with us, Sorg?
Yes. Court
What the-
Bauer,
Oh, no.
I'm looking at you.
And I saw a match that they have booked. I don't know if it's for their TV show. Sorg, they have Delirious versus Kitty Cat Man.
Didn't say Dorado for those that don't know the lore.
No. He's Kitty Cat Man.
He is forever Kitty Cat Man.
He's forever Kitty Cat
I
Man.
think I
Fine.
filmed. I think I filmed Kitty Cat Man.
Yeah, I'm sure you probably have.
At this point, you're not surprised.
I remember you mentioning it once, and I was like, "Oh, you saw Kitty Cat Man."
Yes. So I have an
think
exercise.
I think Jesse in the chat room knows Kitty Cat Man.
No, does he like knows him?
Pretty sure, because Lindsay was a Florida guy. So
Oh yeah. That makes sense. That absolutely
Mhm.
makes sense. I get so sad when I see luchadors without their mask after the show. I'm just like that guy looks familiar, and I realize like oh,
it's Bruce
Oh.
Wayne.
oh,
Damn it.
yeah, I saw the
always
Bruce
Bruce
Wayne, and I'm
Wayne.
just like I'm still there's certain things where I just like no, I don't want to know. I don't want to know what Pentagon looks like. No. That's not
I
who I
mean,
saw this weekend.
Okay, we've seen what Pentagon looks like. He's had that
'Cause
mask.
he's had his
ripped
he's had his
He's
mask.
had that mask
torn
ripped,
off. Yeah,
ripped
yeah.
open enough times.
For-
We know
former,
what the motherfucker looks
former
like.
internet champion Kitty Cat Man. This is Jesse.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
jeez.
Oh,
God,
can
we
we
need
have
to-
Kitty Cat Man versus Ziggy Heim?
We have a mayhem.
Oh.
We should have a mayhem champion. That's sorry. Anyways,
Oh, boy.
so I
Oh,
have.
that's
hold
opening
that
up to a
thought,
lot,
Hold that
sorry.
thought. Hold that thought. That might be for something for another project. Anyways, where am I at? I put this post in here,
MLW.
and I would like. I don't want to get too deep into it. But remember Destination America when that was the last time that I recall.
That's where I first heard of Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, Impact Wrestling went there, and we're like, what the hell is Destination America? We found out about all these barbecue shows and Amish ghost stories. So I figured it would be fun if my question for the Mayhemers out there is go look on Reelz.com. I think it's just /shows. Because I know Joe looked at it, and then he looked at the shows, and he was like, oh good, this is a channel I'm going to like, because this is the kind of shit he watches.
Okay, all right, I have it up. Sorry.
So yeah, so what
have it
kind
up.
of shows would you like Joe Dombrowski to be a guest on?
Oh boy.
They have original cops on patrol live. Something called jail. Geez, what else did he keep telling me about? Breaking the Band. Collision Course.
Wow,
Cops Reloaded.
I want to see Joe Dombrowski on Mariah Carey, The Diva, The Dream.
Okay, I think that's a good one. I think that's a good one.
That's what I want to see.
How about I Lived with a Killer?
Okay.
I mean, he has shit the cars
that makes me worried because you've been in a car with him.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. A couple times lately.
I also want to see Joe Dombrowski on The Story of Soaps.
I think I want to see him on Steven Seagal, Lawman.
I mean, sure.
There's a lot of...
Hey, Rob Van Dam, Headstrong.
There you go. Jeez. So let us know about...
Oh, no, you know what show I don't want to see Joe Dombrowski on? Murder Made Me Famous. Don't want to see him on that.
No.
But its spinoff Scandal Made Me Famous might actually be interesting.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Patrick Swayze, Ghosts and Demons.
I hope there's just a whole episode.
They got some wild.
Where someone feels a presence while doing pottery.
George Michael's Lonely Life. What the hell?
The Lost Unabomber tapes.
They have a China.
Oh,
wrestling...
you know what? All right, this is real. I want to see Joe Dombrowski because he's always selling wrestling memorabilia on his Twitter. I want to see him go on Beverly Hills Pawn.
There you go.
There we go.
You know what I learned? I learned a couple things about Joe, and actually helped Joe learn about himself. One, he told me he's no stranger to Reelz TV almost, because he actually contributed some footage in his library to a show that ended up on Reelz TV. I think it's one of these documentaries, because there's a couple wrestling documentaries. It's one about China, but I don't think that's the one that he contributed to. Also, did you know Joe Dombrowski has an IMDb page?
I was unaware of this.
He didn't. All that's on there is, I think, 1PW, which shows that he did back in the aughts in England, and Camp Leapfrog from IWTV a couple years ago, and one video game where he plays the voice of an Undertaker on the video game is listed that he forgot he did.
Does he say rest in peace?
I don't know. I didn't get that far. I want to try to track that in this game. Anyways, so it was a very educational road trip this past weekend. But anyways, so and look, keep a lookout. We are actually in the plans to have a special edition of Mayhem show here in a couple weeks. We may have to take a week hiatus due to some scheduling conflicts. But we're looking to record something this week that I think everybody will be happy with. Anyways, from that, let me check my time here. Hey, it's time to give a shout out. Check out IndieWrestling.us. The RWA's Uprising just went up on the network, on the YouTube. And if you have us liked over on the Vimeo page, it's on there as well on VOD and digital download. And, of course, the DVDs will be up here very shortly on IndieWrestling.us for order. It was a wild show. It is the 14th anniversary. You never know who's going to show up. We're going to talk about that here in a moment. But, of course, a lot of stuff going on, including this week's 2PW. WW3 is going to be streaming live on the network for members. So sign up for that. Hit the 7-day free trial. And it's going to be one of the first events that we're going to stream live on the network. We're streaming this right now, of course. We've been streaming Top Rope Tabletop. The first, okay, let me roll that back. First show with a wrestling ring that we're going to stream on the network. This is going to be kind of a first test for us to make sure everything could go smoothly with that. But jump in there with the members. And, and if it doesn't, hey, it's going to be up there in about a day or two anyways. So you'll be getting it over there at the network. So go check that out. IndieWrestling.network. Sign up. 7-day free trial. Also, since he just made a return this week, we're reposting for free over on the network the Heaven and Hell, the Chris Taylor and the Rev Ron Hunt story. So go check out the first episode of that as well. So it's a great series that we did with the two of those guys over COVID with everything. So anyways, And amongst that, two guys who also survived the RWA Uprising this past weekend, Daugherty and Tony Kincaid with us here today. So 14 years, holy crap. And Doc, you've seen the most of it.
Yes, I have 14 years of RWA. It's been insane, and plus just the evolution of what you've seen when a company first starts to where it is now. Like I said, it's unbelievable, the changes and the actual just the talent that we're getting now in RWA. What can I say, man? 14 years, hell, and we're still going.
Who can say that they've done 14 years? And yes, they've done a couple other shows outside. I recently dusted off the original Salute the Troops that they did at Cal U and put it on YouTube last week. Whether it's good or not, I don't just it was a show.
Doc, I have notes on your commentary, by the way.
From Salute the Troops.
Okay, what's that?
From like 2014.
Yeah, get better.
Get better.
Oh my God, you were so bad. Oh.
Was it that? Was it bad?
It wasn't good.
Oh no.
Thanks, kiddo. Appreciate that. I just believe it or not, the first Salute the Troops. Funny story about that. So Bodie is not even a year yet, and we bring him. It was his first ever show, right? So, and it was Cal U. It meant something to me because my alma mater. I'm able to commentate. It was just good times. Bodie decides to pull a number 2, big swerve right backstage, right? So I have to go find a open locker room. I'm not going to change him in front of the boys. So myself and my wife sneak into this locker room. There's nobody there. We're changing him, and Bodie looks up, and in horror, he starts to cry. And then we hear this sentence: "Hey, there's a baby in here. What up with that?" And I look, and there's the Hurricane and Sanjay Dutt watching me change my child. My child starts to cry. And Sanjay's like, "It's okay, man. This is where they sent us." And I was like, "I swear to God, I'll be out of here, and I'll throw this diaper in Ryan Mitchell's bag." So at that point, like, I just thought it was hilarious that, like, the first, like, 2 wrestlers of all the wrestlers in the world, the Hurricane and Sanjay Dutt, seeing me, like, wiping ass in their locker room. I'm like, this is awkward as hell. And then I actually got to bring him out. They actually gave us the entrances for the troops. When I come out with the baby, this guy screams, "Drop the baby."
Oh no.
And at that point, he didn't understand that my wife was standing right beside him. Do you want to talk about someone being shut up very quickly? Yes. Do not mess with Catherine Daugherty. That's all I'm going to say. Or her child. But yeah, I digress. Sorry. But Salute the Troops. It was big. It was a good show, though. I thought Chris Taylor was dead. But,
I still feel bad because I think that was one of the rare moments where I was very mean to your wife that won one of those shows.
Mean to my wife?
Yeah, I think it was your wife. I don't know. Somebody was in the area that I needed to sit up for, and I wasn't happy about it, and I was having a bad day. So
wasn't my wife.
It wasn't
my
your
wife? You probably... My wife would have mother effed you.
Oh, okay.
Up and down. No, she does.
Oh, that's good. I thought it was one of yours. All right, then it was one of the rest of us. Whatever the fuck. Those were always some interesting shows, and I can't believe we did 2 in 1 year down there at Cal U.
Yes, we did.
That was
wild. We did.
Anyways, so you've been there for a while. I mean, this is a group where you said there had to been like over 300 people there, and I don't know if you could fit much more in that gymnasium at this point. Say all the footage is on YouTube of like most of those like first 10 years are probably up there right now, and you can watch the gym age, for one thing. And the crowd, and you can see who was there 10 years ago, because there have been people then there for 10, 14 years for sure. I think I joked last year that like somebody random like Scott Sarin, when I was looking at these old footage, like popped back up. Somebody's gonna remember them, right? So like that's really, really incredible. And this I don't know. This was an interesting collection of. There was a lot of new faces at this one. Like this seemed like the anniversary that more looked forward than back, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. When it comes to RWA, yeah, we're always looking forward. We're never looking back. So, being stated that, I will say that it was really cool. There was some actually familiar faces from when RWA started. Some fans actually came back for this show just
Wow.
to experience the anniversary show. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. And I know there's no award ceremony this year. What's going on with that?
It's next month. They have to do a recount of some voting.
Recount.
Yeah, there's some people that are just very upset that they lost for once.
I'm
I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not gonna get into it yet.
People upset they lose an election. That doesn't happen in this country.
Yeah, never.
I mean, Doc, you've been up for non-wrestling personality.
Yeah, I'm the Susan Lucci of RWA. Everybody knows that.
You never win.
But we're not.
You've been here this whole time.
I've just got good supportive friends that get yelled at too. So we're just gonna go ahead and keep it ourselves.
I just want to say, Doc Remedy has probably been at RWA more than Dr. Feelbad.
Doc Remedy
and
Doc Remedy.
Doc Daugherty's been
Fuck
there
me.
much longer too.
Doc Daugherty. What the hell?
You
I have
say
too many
Doc.
dogs. Too many dogs.
Yeah,
Doc's
too
been
many dogs.
there forever.
Sorry. Just write which doc you're talking to on the doc.
Doc Gallows has been a staple of RWA.
No. Doc almost was on the show. Doc Gallows was almost on
Doc
the show.
Hendricks. No, all right, I'm done.
Doc
Doc
Well.
has been a staple of RWA since he threw the no-no on LSD.
Oh,
Man, I'm gonna drink some more coffee over here. All right.
yeah. What's in that coffee? But
Just a little bit of
No, I just-
Scientology.
and I joke around about that. Like I said, those awards are pretty cool because it actually shows it's not even about the non-personality award. It's about like the boys. It's
Mhm.
about the guys out there, the guys and gals, excuse me, that bust their ass and work hard to put a show on for other people. And what I love about it is the fact that they get appreciated. Yeah, I mean, oh wait, it's an award. Some people are going to be like, yay. Some people are going to be like, so the fuck what? But the simple fact is that the fans get to show their appreciation, via paper, via internet, and they get the some of these guys really. I mean, they drive miles and miles away to compete in West Newton, and it's just
States
good
away.
to have them. be
States
appreciated.
away.
Yeah, states away. Yeah, states away. I mean, there's people Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, California. We miss you, Great Akuma. But like I said,
Oh man.
there's been you remember
I
that
was just wondering about him. I was looking at some old posters lying around. I'm like, what happened to Akuma? But
Akuma just I don't know. When it comes to being a father and that, he actually chose that. And, I have
good
nothing
for
but
him.
respect
Good for him. I mean,
for Ken, I'll say his name. And he did a lot for his daughter, and he needed to just take some time away from wrestling. I hope I see him back someday.
I think he wrestled,
Akuma has.
and he did wrestle as Ken once or twice too, I believe.
Yes, he did.
So
Yeah, it was a great gimmick and a half. And, Tony was actually involved in that. We had a great time with that. And Akuma actually he's been definitely a part of our RWA history. Me and Tony Kincaid.
Oh,
We won't
absolutely.
get too far into Akuma, but let's just say
I just
Akuma
remember.
helped us more than hurt us.
I just remember one of the times Marshall made the police show up, and that they happened to be walking in when he had his hair Akuma's having his hair getting chopped off by a samurai sword or something in the middle of the ring. And I'm just like, wow,
Yeah.
I'm sure this isn't the weirdest night of this guy's life.
Yeah.
Anyways,
The cops, man, they knew they got called once because one of the houses that are on the adjoining street of the gymnasium, someone got butthurt because there was a car there, of course, and then of course the infamous Marshall Gambino. I mean, the episode before, the event before, there was a big toss between Marshall and this fan. This fan spit in Marshall's face, and the way the crowd went, they took Marshall. There's this big wave. Our RWA entrance almost got completely collapsed and crushed. Poor Tawny's back here trying to keep it up. It was insane. And then I left. I went to LA to go visit a good friend of mine, Jason from That Wrestling Podcast. Check him out. So I'm there, and I think Tony. Yeah, I called Tony. I said, "How'd it go?" Oh, the cops got called. I said, "Oh, I think it was Tony. There was that.
No, it was Church. It was Church.
Pardon me.
So the funny thing is,
You weren't there yet. Yeah, you weren't there yet.
this was the show that I was supposed to come down and make my introductions, and I had a last minute thing, and so Church had to solo it, and you texted me the day after like, "Hey, how'd the show go?" You know, I asked how'd the show go, and he goes, "Well, it was a good thing you missed because there was a massive fight," and you know, so and then I showed up the next month, I think.
I mean, it's better than we had a ring announcer that will not name on the show that was there, and it happened to be his first time there, and then there was a riot, and then he said he will not come back. So, you know, it you know, it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. But no, fantastic show. Wheels in the chat room. Our belt aficionado Wheels is reminding me they did debut new championship belts for the No Limits and the heavyweight championship.
And the tag titles are also being updated. They were supposed to be defended. Arthur MacArthur and Chuck Stone just didn't show, so I have a call with them in like a day or so to try to figure out what happened there, which you'll be able to check out on the RWA Facebook page if they actually pick up, but we'll see.
You're doing a bit of that now. I know you notice you're doing some interviews for RWA and 2PW now, Tony.
Yeah. So the idea I had, this was actually a collaborative effort. We were trying to figure out how to, you know, Doc is the moral compass of all our companies. He's the one that's like morally sound but like neutral in a conscious sense. Well, how do we get that like devil on your shoulder thing and get the darker elements of pro wrestling talked about within the show? I'm using a lot of code words here, like I'm Penn and Teller. It's 2 Penn and Teller references in 2 weeks, by the way. So
that's why we invite you back.
Right. So the idea was during J-Rock's feud with the Rev. Oh, God, I have to call J-Rock too. That's terrifying. J-Rock was
book
like,
2 hours for that. Book 2 hours.
Let me. I'm going to no sell that comment. He said,
"Wow.
Get me, you know, I want to tell why this happened the way it did." And we had this long interview, about 10 minutes long. It was actually like 30 minutes long. And we talked about where everything came from. And then as I'm like going through the footage and all that stuff, I'm like, I remember that event. So I went to indiewrestling.us. I pulled the footage. I clipped it into the video so the fans could see it. And I created this like small, I don't even know if it's like hybrid interview and like retrospective type deal. The latest one I did was with the 2PW tag champs that went up yesterday, Swole Patrol. VJ Hells and Thick Vic Braun talked about the open challenge that they're issuing Friday at WW3, and you know, I just interspliced them coming back and talking about what you know their future is and what they want out of this. Intersplicing it sort of gives fans who might have missed the show or want a little more in depth a chance to talk about, you know, get a chance to listen to the wrestlers, and also lets me, you know, work on my editing skills, which, you know, it's always good to keep those fresh.
No,
I mean, the interview segments that he does are phenomenal. I mean, I've got to watch him. I'm actually a huge fan of him. He is actually, you know, going to a level that we're not really seen before when it comes to pro wrestling interviewing. I mean, I really love the fact that the way he edits it with his face, their faces, it kind of brings back the old, if you guys remember Raw, when they do one guy via satellite in Stanford, another one and wherever they might be, like in Miami. I really loved how he projects that, and and what he means by devil on his shoulder is just the simple fact that, you know, he presses the questions that they would tell me shut the fuck up. You know, he gets the questions out of him because, you know, he's Tony Kincaid. Heels love him. What can we say?
No, it's bringing another level to everything for sure. And of course, speaking of this Friday is like we mentioned in the commercial before, it is Prospect Pro Wrestling's WW3 Walter Wright Memorial Walter Wright III Memorial. And last year it saw the emergence of the Anarchy Championship. This year it is a little bit different. Doc, can you tell me a little bit more about what we're doing special for this year? I know we talked about it with Phil Archer a couple weeks ago.
There are numerous four-way matches, and it's basically a tournament. The winner of this tournament will get to choose a title match whenever he wants. So we got a bunch of fatal four-ways lined up for the people, and I mean, they are going to be completely balls to the wall mayhem, just like Wally Wright loves in a wrestling match. Basically, this is the second tribute show we've got to do for this man. This man, if he's put a lot of contribution, not only just to 2PW, but to professional wrestling as a whole. So it's really good in his honor to keep that mayhem alive, because that's this kind of stuff he loves. So, I mean, I'm honored to be a part of this one. I know Tony's more than hell to be honored. And, I mean, some of these matches, I mean, if you look right now, we have Stevie LaBelle taking on Philip Archer. And, there's some of these guys do not like each other. Do not like each other in these events. It is going to be just chaos. I cannot wait to see. And I am honestly looking forward to seeing who is going to answer Swole Patrol's challenge. Because one thing about Swole Patrol, in the time, I mean, they don't like me. I get that. But I will say this. They are some of the most dangerous men in the squared circle. They proved that. The Brotherhood going in for a title defense against these guys. And it kind of reminded me of one of the old Stanley Cup playoffs. It was when the Pittsburgh Penguins were very young, up and coming, trying to, rebuild Sydney, all that. And they went against Ottawa Senators, and the Ottawa Senators smacked them in the mouth. I don't know if anybody remembers that series or not. And they basically swept the Penguins and threw them right out of the playoffs. Everybody was boo-hooing. I get it. It's Pittsburgh. But I will say, it was kind of like watching that. Like, Swole Patrol went in there, cool, calm, collected, and defeated the Brotherhood, 1, 2, 3 for those coveted 2PW tag team titles. And the whole place was just quiet. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited to see what Swole Patrol is able to do, and what team is going to muster enough challenge. I mean, we might even see the Brotherhood again. They want their rematch.
Who knows?
But who knows who's going to show up? That's the crazy thing about Worthington, Pennsylvania. You never know who's going to show up.
And especially these days, it feels like, especially tag team divisions, there's been surprises in tag teams across the board in about every promotion I've been keeping an eye on in the greater area. So like you put a big question mark on that. That could get intriguing.
Yeah, Tony, you have any thoughts on it? I was going to ask.
Well, yeah, no, I think a couple things concerning tag wrestling. I think we've finally started to come around in this area to realizing that we were sort of all brainwashed for a few years to think that tag team wrestling wasn't important, or a part of our art form that was supposed to be appreciated. The ebbs and flows of what we watch for pro wrestling is dictated by television. That's just how it is. And it's fine. And, WWE had this moment where they were really into the tag team scene, specifically during the SmackDown 6. They had this huge, where they had tag team matches all the time. And then they went away. And when they went away, people forgot how important tag team wrestling is as a development tool. And, some of the greatest legends in Pittsburgh wrestling have tag team gold under their belt, multiple levels. I mean, take out the Gambinos, who, Marshall runs 2PW. He's a multi-time tag team champion across multiple companies. Number one contender over at RWA right now with Mickey Gambino as the Gambinos. Forget those. Super Hentai and HL Supreme and Dennis Gregory. Yeah, I did it once, finally. Dennis Gregory is the Sons of Liberty. Multi-tag teams.
Jason Gorey held belts with both the now Walkin' Wild at WWE, and I feel like he might have had a belt with Facade. I know he competed heavily.
And a couple
with
other people too, but Gory's a multi-time tag champ. This is where Justin Idol has held multiple tag championships
with Gory.
With Gory.
With Gory.
With God.
Eric Ecstasy.
Eric Ecstasy, the bisexual bulldozer. Excuse me.
Yes. So these are how you learn how to wrestle a match in those chaos, because that timing is important. And I think I also, like with tag team matches, made my bones calling tag matches. I think that's where the first time I got comfortable, really was calling those tag matches, because while Doc's trying to keep up with the match itself, I'm talking about the structure behind the tag match and the corner control and how important that is, and how important it is to use your 5 seconds between tags effectively. And I always talk about it on commentary, the death corner, where you keep them in your corner, control them, beat them up, quick tags, quick tags, quick tags. And that's how you control and win a match. So I sort of accidentally became really good at calling tag matches because this area is so seeped in it. And, that's how I got to call Runway. That's how I got to call Money Shot. That's how I got to call the Gambinos. That's how I got to call, Gory and Idol, and now, Sons of Liberty and Brotherhood. And there's a dozen others, STDs, Friends of the Show. So that's how we go about this. All those tag teams, I might add, could possibly pick up the Open Challenge. Heck, Doc, you want to see if the Open Challenge is still available? You want to challenge Soul Patrol? You can go in first.
Hell no.
All right.
It's bad enough I had to carry their bags.
Yeah.
I'm done. No, we're done. Not happening.
I mean, I was going to let you start the match, and then I'd fill in at the end.
You know what? I think we're good right where we're at. Behind the table, calling the action.
Good
for
call.
indie wrestling, for indiewrestling.us.
There you go. There you go. You guys can check it out this Friday night, 8 p.m. bell time. We'll be live in person and online. You guys can check it out. So, and maybe if you're sitting at home and you're in the Pittsburgh area, you can go hit your Grubhub, hit your sliceonbroadway.com, and check out our friends and get a meal to sit back and watch the show. New York City style yins are made. Slice on Broadway, Beachview, Carnegie, East End, and North Hills, and the South Side Works location, brand new. Go check it out. Our good friends supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Thank you so much to our friends at Slice on Broadway, right up the street on Broadway, just like Sorgatron Media on Broadway. We are all neighbors. Well, they're about a mile away, but still, they're just there. Just train right away. It's fine. Thank you so much to them for supporting the show. We'll be back in a few minutes. If you're with us on the live video, we got a little special something for you. What did I put? A little clip from Preston Everest versus Jamie Jameson from 2PW 2 months ago, actually. How'd that get in there? And a few more tidbits in there, and a little refreshers in there to get you ready for Mayhem Mania next week. Speaking of which, I think Mad Mike has something special for that, and yeah, we'll be right back after this.
Jamie Jameson has been saving this, pretty much this, I don't want to say ass whooping right now, but I mean right now it just is an ass whooping. I don't care, Tony. The simple fact is this: Preston Everest, your buddy, has brought this on himself. Bottom line.
I mean, I think he's been trying to fight the biggest dog in the yard, so to speak. Preston Everest once said, "Big shotgun."
Boom. My God! And now he goes with those big size 14s. Wrecking ball. This could be it. I mean, we could be seeing Right here, I mean, the bell is rung. This match is suplex. The Country Hammer covers him. 1, 2,
Kick out at 1.
I mean, Preston Everest, it's going to take a lot more than that to defeat the Peak Performer. That's why they call him the Peak Performer. But right now, if anything's peaking, it's the glowing red chest from when Jamie Jameson has just chopped the living hell out of this man. Oh, now pulling him back in this ring. He wants some more. And
smart maneuver right there by Preston.
Something popped. Something popped. He can't even move that arm. And no! Jamie's favoring that arm. I mean, did you just watch the socket pop over that top rope? I mean, he yanked that shoulder out of place. He might have.
And that's exactly what Preston has to do. He has to target something and beat the hell out of it. He's targeting that right arm.
I mean, we're seeing it firsthand here, folks. I mean, that leg drop right across that injured shoulder. And you can see Jamie's, there's some numbness in his hand. You can see him
trying to shake it out, yeah.
Trying to get something here. Oh, big punch. I mean, that was a loose punch. That was a big one. And now Everest with the punch.
But they're not as effective. You can tell he's suffering from a stinger of sorts. Now stretching that out. Trying to do a standing arm bar, so to speak. Kicked his leg out. Now it's fully stretched out. It's not fully stretched out yet. Look, he's trying to pull it out, though.
Oh, but he's doing a good job. He's doing a good job targeting. I mean, he is just going to town right now. My goodness.
What up, everybody? Ty Cross here, and I know you all know who I am. We have breaking news for the Wrestling Mayhem show. Mayhem Mania 2023 has got a brand new host, and I know exactly who it is.
Me, Benjamin C. Steele. Nice coat, by the way. Did they give you a bowl of soup with that? Yeah, it's Benjamin C. Steele. Tell him. You can call me BC Steele. You can call me Benjamin C. Steele. You can call me Mr. Steele. Tell him now it's me.
Ben?
Yeah.
I know who it is.
Yeah.
And it's not you.
It's me, the Maven of Mayhem, Judders. And you all have your work cut out for you this year. They wish it was you two.
Stutters.
We are back, Wrestling Mayhem show, telling stories off air. Daugherty with us, as well as Tony Kincaid.
That's what my name is.
The voices of Prospect Pro Wrestling and Renegade Wrestling Alliance. Wow, man, to get me excited to hear that voice.
I hit a wall. I need caffeine to go to bed.
All right, we'll try to make this quick then. And of course, Mad Mike's here too.
Yeah,
hey,
yeah, I'm here, Sorg.
Hey,
Sorg, there's a show this weekend, and there was a celebration last night. Raw 30.
Yes, there was Raw 30 last night. Highest viewers.
30 years of way too old men pointing at their dicks.
Yes, I mean there was a
Oh,
celebration of old men pointing at their dicks last night.
And that was before Ric Flair came out.
But it was still the most viewed. Wow, and it was still the most viewed WWE Raw since February of 2020.
Yep.
So give it.
But I wonder how many people actually wanted to see the cage match and were disappointed.
I think a few were.
I'm put me in that list as one person who wanted to see that.
Now retrospectively we can harp on that, but generally, and I saw the same like tweets all over the place. I can't remember the last time, this was a nostalgia factory for sure, right?
Unless you like women's wrestlers.
Unless you're Zeke.
Not a lot of nostalgia there.
Yes. Yes, in retrospect. I
love that segment 2 has become Mike and Tony bitch about the lack of women's wrestling on TV. Segment 3, rather.
This is 3. It's
because we put it in the main event of the show.
Watching the show, I was one of the most fun I've had watching Raw for a while. And I'm watching it live, and I haven't been watching it live. I also had to get up early for
anytime the first hour of Raw goes commercial free, they're cooking.
Oh yeah. Oh,
they're
absolutely.
cooking. Like it always cooks. It always feels frenetic. Like there's just so much activity to it because they're not taking breaks.
Right.
And it's not even like it's
Wait,
not even like one of those.
Did they do that last night?
They sure did.
I didn't even notice.
Exactly.
I didn't even notice.
That's how you know they're cooking.
Oh my gosh.
The first 30 minutes, Hulk Hogan came out and his mic didn't work, which was really a blessing for all
karmic.
of us.
14 out of 10 on the show just because he had the mic issues.
Yes, absolutely.
And somewhere I looked up to the sky. I looked towards the east where I knew England was, and I said, Matthew, have at it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, like the Bloodline segment. Oh my god!
Can we do it? Can we do a deep dive? I know these segments take an hour and a half when Mike and I are cooking, but just to talk about the storytelling that they're doing right now in the Bloodline is
masterclass, absolute masterclass.
We all know that it's going a direction, but to take that segment to set it up the way it did, and it's not the things that were said, although Paul Heyman is goated at how to be that smarmy person.
Paul Heyman is the only person over 50 I will permit being on wrestling every week.
Yes, I agree.
Everyone
with
else
that.
can go away.
The exhibits were done in this cheesy, like Law and Order way, but it wasn't cheesy. It worked somehow. And then I think the first way it worked is because the first clip they showed was one that we saw, but not the full detail of it. Yeah.
Because the full detail of it was Sammy retreating in the background after Drew McIntyre attacked the Usos. And that's something that we didn't really see as it was happening.
Yes.
But was definitely there.
This shot was mentioned a lot on Twitter, I know, and the framing of this shot of Sami Zayn. I missed it. He backed the chair up when they sat down. Yeah. And
also, notice that Roman and Solo and the Usos are on different sides of the table. They're not presenting a united front. That's the thing. And Heyman is literally in the middle of it.
And Heyman, and the way Heyman bent the exhibits. So there were 4 exhibits, bending them. The not wanting to hit Kevin with a chair, or him not being there to protect Roman from a stunner because he was told to get the car. Like, they're being bent these specific ways. And as this is Sammy slinking back, and my favorite shot of the thing is Solo. He tells Solo to get him, the Samoan Spike, which is still revered in pro wrestling. It is one of those moves that's just revered. Set up, and if you take the still, Sammy doesn't flinch. He's like, I'm gonna get shot. I'm about to be executed. That's fine. And Jay, goddamn, Uso makes the save.
By the way, not only is it perfect because of the Jay and Sammy relationship, But who was the first person that challenged the tribal chief?
Jay.
Jey Uso.
There are so many levels. There's levels on levels here. We're working with multiple levels. There's levels.
Like I'll say this: if I turned on a random Uso match from mid 2010s, you could not pay me without commentary for me to tell you accurately which one is Jimmy Uso and which one is Jey Uso. Now, because of the time off that Jimmy had and Jay got to stand out on his own, they are entirely different personalities, both in ring and on mic at this point. And you can, like, hairstyles be damned. You can tell who they are individually in the ring because they just act differently now. Like, Jay is a bit more aggressive, a bit more paranoid, a bit more like frenzied, and Jimmy is very laid back in all their promos and like always has a smile on his face during the match and everything like that. Like, you can tell who the individual Usos are, and that's something that I don't think was an intended consequence of this Tribal Chief storyline, but man, has it helped. It's helped so much.
And just the usage, like when Sammy defending himself and looking at Paul and saying like, this hurts me. Pierre Rosenberg on Cheap Heat, I can't say it because my Yiddish is crap, but he's like, Paul has literally been calling him the Yiddish for Samuel.
Yeah, Shmuley.
Yeah, Shmuley. That's Yiddish for Sammy. Like the details.
I did not know that's what that was. That's amazing.
Yeah, Pierre Rosenberg and Dipperstein mentioned it on the podcast today while I was listening because I had to drive to him from Pittsburgh today. But I was like, the details. There's so many details here, and it feels like creative just said, okay,
Like,
this is
honestly,
where we need you to get there. Everything else,
I feel like
do your thing.
I feel like if Paul Heyman was in charge of creative, we'd be getting multiple things like this going every week. I just have a funny feeling about that. I feel Paul has a real heavy hand in what's going on with this whole storyline.
Oh, just everybody, just some geniuses involved. You know everybody's got input on this thing, and they're working
And I
together.
love that.
It's beautiful.
I love that Owens didn't show up at the trial.
Me too. I thought that was a big deal because it subconsciously tells everyone Kevin's done with Sammy. He's not going to save Sammy here.
Like Owens didn't even care. He just wanted to attack the Miz on Raw, and just get out his promo. That's all he wanted to do on Raw. He was there too, and he could have done anything to help Sammy, and he did.
And then Sammy helps the Usos retain the title, and Roman says he passed today. That's not enough. You can see the cracks developing. We're now leading into WrestleMania with a full-fledged, invested storyline that can go multiple directions, and that's exciting.
So many with different ways.
So
like, and God, I'm telling you guys, Elimination Chamber, I'm probably gonna cry.
It's possible.
That's in Sammy's hometown.
It is in Montreal.
It's not going to end well.
Holy shit, it is in Montreal.
It is not going to end well for Sammy.
If you
Or
want
could
heat,
end great.
this is where you got to do it. Right here. This is definitely the point where you kick him out, beat him up. Or wouldn't it be great to maybe do the total opposite? Oh, you're going to screw me. Why don't I screw you? And have Sammy screw over the Bloodline some way.
No, I don't think so.
I think.
You
don't think that'd be a good idea?
I think that ship has sailed at this point.
All right. So at this point,
unless he does it where he takes the Usos with him. But then,
I think he. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, but then that makes it all sorts of weird.
So let me ask you this: do you think it happens? Do you think the Foundation finally cracks that Elimination Chamber, or at Royal Rumble? Do you see him maybe eliminating an Uso or eliminating Solo even from the Royal Rumble, which causes that downward spiral to even go further?
I could see something like that. Man, it's gonna be really like. And here's the thing: I wonder if Solo's even going to be at the Rumble. I wonder if Kevin Owens takes out Solo on SmackDown.
I would like to see that happen. because then Roman has no choice in
But to
the
rely
matter.
on Sammy.
He has to rely on Sammy, which can cause, like I said, just more cracks.
Well, we'll see.
Until
We'll
that
see
ball
where it
closes.
goes here. Real quick, let's do picks at least for the Rumble.
Okay.
Like I said, and this is for me. I'm disqualifying the idea that I would be surprised that anybody but Cody would win.
Okay, all right. So secondary pick from Cody.
Yeah. So the not obvious pick that you would have win the Royal Rumble at this point.
Seth Rollins.
Seth is a good pick.
Seth Rollins, because I think
He's gonna
there's a world in which Roman has to defend that Elimination Chamber, and maybe Cody can win it there, and it's because of Sammy that Roman loses. And then you get Cody versus Rollins at WrestleMania for the belt.
Dominic.
I think Rhea Ripley is going to win the women's one.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yes.
Either her or Alexa, I think, or probably the two that I would probably put in.
Well,
there.
Alexa's in the title match, so
Yeah,
theoretically she's not in the Rumble.
Yeah, until they put them in the Rumble. That's the problem with the Rumble, is they never specify these lines. I was in Pittsburgh when Rey Mysterio was 30. Like, they didn't tell us
Sorry,
these
Ray.
things. Sorry, Ray. Love you, but at that moment, you were persona non grata. Like,
At that moment, you were not Daniel Bryan.
At that moment, Pittsburgh was Dominic.
We're angry. So throw Cody out the window because he's the heavy betting favorite. An argument could be made for Sammy, which would be very interesting angle. Seth is a great call. I'm gonna put my finger kinda and say that it might be. If The Rock's there, he's winning. If not, Sammy.
Yeah.
Outside of Cody.
If I had a dark horse pick, I say Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's a dark horse.
That would be an awesome dark horse. So, if you want, my pick, I'm gonna pick a very unpopular opinion here. Edge.
Okay.
Just for the fact that why not? You know, I mean, all that he's gone through. You know, wife getting kicked in, or wife getting hit with the concerto, just to build back and then boom, see if he can get another pop like he did when he made his comeback. I think it'd be kind of awesome to see it happen if it was a secondary.
I could
pick.
see
when it comes to dark horse.
Good.
Dark horse, I'm going with a guy who I'm not going to give up on, and that's Karrion Kross.
Wow. Okay.
I would love to see that happen, just because it would be out of nowhere, and they'd be like, no one was planning this. You know, I mean, it would be kind of cool. I would love to see someone like Karrion Kross or anybody of the nature that is not in the title picture get it, because it would just boost and elevate their status to something else. But it would just be cool because it's like, holy shit, where did this person come from? And they won the Rumble. I would love just somebody, you know, sorry I'm doing my...
That's like when Sheamus won the Rumble.
You know, yeah, thank you. Perfect.
You know what I'd
example.
love to see? And I think this would be realistic in another year. Gunther.
I was about, if no one mentioned Gunther, I was gonna say Gunther at some point too.
His mom named him Walter. I'm gonna call him Walter. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Gunther's 2 years out. I think another dark horse would be Drew. Like, you could see them trying to redo Drew's story.
I don't know if he wasn't winning at Clash of the Castle. He's staying away. He's
yeah.
staying away for a while.
Yeah, I guess. I just really wish Drew got a play in a crowd as opposed to in the Thunderdome. I really think
he got Clash of the Castle though. Like,
he did.
That's true.
That was his mania.
That really was.
That was his mania moment.
The big thing is this Rumble shaping up to be probably one of the more we think we know, but we might not know.
Oh yeah, we could be completely off about this.
Like there's a lot of balls being juggled right now by creative that's keeping us like confused. It's not like a few years ago where we knew.
And who knows? The fact with how good this Bloodline story is, it could have changed the entire creative plans. Like, for all we know, Sammy kicks Owens in the face, and Roman wins, and then Roman destroys Sammy, and Sammy limps out at number 30 and wins. It could happen very easily.
Could you imagine if they Daniel Bryan the shit out of Sammy?
He's already there.
Man,
he's already there. Instead of just putting up 2 fingers, everyone's putting up 1. Like, they're already there.
You know, Jimmy and Jay are going to be in the ring. There needs to be Sammy needs to inadvertently eliminate one of them, or inadvertently eliminate Solo. I think having Solo run the Kane spot would be a great way to get, and then Sammy accidentally eliminate him would be a great way to do that. Whether Sammy wins or not, that disharmony. If Roman keeps the title against Kevin, and then Solo's running absolute gung-ho, eliminating left, right, center, but just an accidental inverted haluva kick takes out Solo.
Yeah.
Now we have a ball.
Oh, yeah. We got a problem.
Get your tuxes and your ball gowns going. We got a
Let's
party.
do it. Yes.
And Paul Heyman has an exhibit B.
What if Sammy's number 1? And his so what if Sammy's final test has nothing to do with Owens at all? Because Roman's like, I don't need your help with Kevin Owens. I'm the tribal chief. Your task is to go in at number 1 and win so that I don't have to fight at WrestleMania.
Well, he has to. The finger poke of doom. They'll bring it back.
Yes. One night only.
Yeah. But, I mean...
Do you have Cody?
Roman forcing Sammy to run the gauntlet only to win a title shot that he can never cash in would be the biggest mind fuck. The biggest... Oh, my... That's what they're going to do. What if at Elimination Chamber, it's the contract signing for Sammy versus Braun Breaker, and he can't do it? And he kicks Roman in the face and says, I'm facing you at WrestleMania.
There'd have to be a couple more touch points that they get to really drive Sammy insane.
I mean,
that's doable. Now here's the thing. This is forget the Cody Rhodes win the Rumble. Cody's coming out 1 or 2, probably 2, right? Like that's an even money bet.
What number did Dusty come out? I can see him coming out the exact same number.
Well, no, because they're going to want to do the full entrance, so it has to be 1 or 2.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's a good point. Oh, God, what if Sammy and Cody are 1 and 2, and the last 2 men in the ring?
Oh, take my money.
Like they pull the Michaels Bulldog, and they're just in there at the beginning, in there at the end.
Wow,
that'd be wonderful.
Well,
at number 30, when they're both all beat up and gassed, The Rock.
It's that wonderful time of the year, the Royal Rumble. I love this. I love it. Just this chat got me excited for it, and I haven't been until now, so I love it. Mike, you said you had a surprise for us.
I do. Sorg, there's another season that's on the horizon.
Yes, it is pointing season.
Yes. No. Nope.
What?
Nope. Not pointing season. It's Mayhem Mania season, Sorg.
Yeah, baby.
Mayhem Mania season. And, all right, so you guys know I like to do my research. I like to do my stats. So I know Mayhem Mania is a comparative thought experiment where we try to book better than every wrestling booker in the world. We try to beat Vince McMahon. We try to beat Tony Khan. We try to beat everyone.
Now we're just trying to beat Triple H. But
yeah, well, now we're trying to beat Triple H too. Yeah, he was in NXT. We were trying to beat him before too. But I was curious about this. I wanted to know how good of a bookers we were collectively as a unit. Because, we have our fun. We booked Miss Piggy. We booked Zombie Rick Rude. Both of these are things that actually happened in Mayhem Mania. We have a good time. But I wanted to know how many matches that we've actually booked in Mayhem Mania have happened in real life. So I wanted to know who from the great litany of Mayhem Mania is the hashtag best book machine. All right, Sorg?
Okay.
You follow me on this?
Okay.
Okay. So I went through every Mayhem Mania from 2015 to last year. And boy, howdy, have we booked a lot of matches that happened after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
We've had 23 different people book a match that happened after they booked it in Mayhem Mania.
I'm amazed that we've had 23 people involved in Mayhem Mania.
Oh, we've had a lot more.
I know.
We've had a lot more. The 23 people are like, the only person I didn't know, and I listened to the episode, who was T. Crocy? Do you know who that is?
I don't know. We'll check.
Right.
We'll check the notes.
Whatever. I may have gotten the name wrong.
Okay.
But anyway, but of those 23 people, we have booked 48 matches that have happened after they've been booked in Mayhem Mania.
Wow.
48. And all right, so I counted up. I gave myself a bonus point 1 year. I'm not counting it in the overall total because Garza booked the match of Big E versus Woods versus Kofi Kingston. And I attached the stipulation that it was a Smash Brothers Brawl match. Guess what happened on Up Up Down Down a year after that? So I gave myself a bonus point. It's not counting in the overall stand. But I gave myself a bonus point for that because that was just crazy to me. Otherwise, I don't look at WWE house shows because those don't really count. But I did look at every indie promotion afterwards. So, like, if it's been booked on an indie after it was booked in Mayhem Mania, it counted. Sorg, do you want to know how many matches you've booked?
How many?
It happened in 4 matches, Sorg.
4?
4. You tied with the Riz for the 4th most person that booked real matches on Mayhem Mania. 3rd was let's see here. Oh, I'm sorry, you tied for you and Riz tied for 3rd most. 2nd most was Bobby FJ10. Bobby booked 6 matches, 3 alone in 2017 that happened after the fact.
Jeez.
Yeah. And I only booked 1 more match more than Bobby that happened in real life, and I booked 7.
Jeez.
Yeah. So technically I am the best book machine, but like I think we have to give ourselves all credit.
Absolutely.
Because like I'm just gonna run through the list of people who have booked a match that have happened in real life. Lunchbox had 2. Justin LeBar had 1. Riz had 4. John Fisher had 1. Garza had 3. I had 7. Eamon had 3. Bobby had 6. Sorg had 4. Missy had 1. Corey had 1. Larry had 2.
It's Corey Futuristic.
Corey Futuristic.
Yes.
Tina had 2. Officer Dan had 1. Brandon had 1. That T. Crocy guy had 1.
Brandon,
he's always on Mayhem.
Okay, I just want to make sure it's not Brandon K.
No. T. Crocy had 1. Pit Fight Sam had 1. Ronnie has had 1. Cars has had 1. Honey Badgers had 1. Billy Johnson's had 1. Jordy had 1. And Bo Diggity has had 1. There have been a lot of people that have booked matches that have actually happened in real life after.
Yes. And these are not just like matches that made it to like the end of Mayhem Mania. They were booked.
No. These are Sorg, I'll send you the spreadsheet. I went week by damn week.
Oh gosh.
Sorg, do you want to know who had the first graduated match in Mayhem Mania?
You
did.
Really?
Miz versus Mizdow. First ever graduated match, and yes, it did happen in real life after you booked it.
I want Miz down in the Royal Rumble.
Sorg, do you know who made the first match ever in Mayhem Mania? You did.
Okay.
Rusev versus The Undertaker, which also happened
in Saudi Arabia.
Yes, it sure did, Sorg. And apparently, we had to create the Alex Cars rule because in 2005 it happened a lot.
2005 or 15?
2015. Excuse me.
Yeah.
It happened a lot.
I was gonna say we started in 2006. So.
Happened a whole lot. I booked the first women's match in Mayhem Mania. Eamon, for all his loving sentiments, had the first move out of pure spite.
The Alex Carr rule was if somebody immediately destroys your match you just made in that round,
yes,
you get an automatic pick the next week.
Yes, exactly.
And like first pick or something like that,
yes.
right?
The first time the Alex Cars rule went into effect was in 2016 when the Riz booked Dean Ambrose versus Luke Harper in a suit. And that exactly happened because we got Moxley versus Mr. Brody Lee at Double or Nothing. So I did give Riz a bonus point for
that. Nice. All right, we need to compile this into an article or something.
Oh, I have a whole spreadsheet. I will send it to you.
Fantastic. We'll see what we can do.
Oh, by the way, the first time an independent worker got booked on the show was Britt Baker. She was the first one that wasn't WWE. It was the first time we went out of the comfort realm of everyone. And it was a match between Lay Cool, Bailey and Sasha, Beth Phoenix and Mickie James, and Emma and Britt Baker. And Larry booked that one. Just trying to see what other notes I had. Bobby booked a match between the Iconics and Ember and Kyrie that happened 22 days later on a house show. So I just thought that was really kind of funny. Let's see. I don't think I have any other big notes of Mayhem Mania lore. But the first cinematic match, of course, was Bray Wyatt and Alexa versus Zaya and Boa. You know. Oh, and Bobby booked a match that happened on the same day that he booked. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take a look at those. We'll see about visualizing for you guys on the website here in the next week.
But yeah, I figured that was a good primer to get everyone ready. So in other words,
Mayhem Mania starts next week. Chris LaRusso is scheduled to join us for the first week. Being Booker extraordinaire down there at Rise Wrestling, I think is appropriate for him to be on to help out with some first round picks here. Dutters is the host. We will have a Space Jail. We will have a Trapper Keeper of Doom, and if you are on Patreon, you will get a message later this week about how you can participate and contribute to the first Mayhem Mania, should I say it? Match for this year. Very deep in the show. So.
Or do I need to start my Patreon now?
Maybe.
I wasn't going to. I was gonna wait until the.
There'll
first
be
week
some
of
gems here and there. Just wanna, the Patreons need to get a little something, and we're going to give them some opportunities here throughout the year before the star-studded superpowers that are Patreon in the bank.
By the way, sort of keeping track of every Patreon in the bank match that's made during each of those shows. Oh my word!
I need to have a meeting with Dutters to make sure she is mentally prepared for this. Just
I'll send her my spreadsheet. She can look at.
There
the
you
last
go.
Week.
There you go.
You can look at the last week of every year
that'll be the
Mayhem
crash
Mania.
course. That'll be the crash course.
Oh my god! Do you know how many matches we made in Patreon in the bank last year?
Because we did the Double Mania Day. Yeah.
We did 9. We made 9 matches.
We're redoing this. We're going to Wrestle Kingdom this and draw it back down to 1 day, by the way. The experiment is over. Or
we also went 12 weeks last year.
Yeah. That was exhausting.
It was a lot.
Exhausting. No wonder nobody responded to my.
We usually went 10.
This is why nobody responded to my "Hey, are you hosting this year?" text. So, on that point, guys, what did you learn from wrestling this week? I learned fucking Vikingo. The embargo of streaming Vikingo outside of AAA lifted this weekend, and Warrior Wrestling, that I might have been behind the directing chair on, was one of the first to stream Vikingo's match against Ray Horace. Mike, you're familiar with that person. Dragon Azteca?
Oh, right. I forgot about it.
And Flamita, I do not know if he was a Lucha Underground person, but he is he's pretty great and very evil. Very evil. You've seen the clips and talking about the he just insults gravity. It was literally like, listen, keep on your toes, videographers. I don't understand how he moves. Right? He was jumping over fans. He just like walks the ropes. He did this multiple times. Right? He's insane. And he's the new Warrior Wrestling Lucha champion, by the way. So he's the AAA Mega champion. He's the Warrior Lucha champion, and that's going to be interesting. Also, Mike, I got to witness a almost full House of Black entrance of Buddy Murphy on Saturday night.
Oh, excellent!
That was great. And one of my favorite odd couples on commentary is the second time this happened is Joe Dombrowski and Frank the Clown. Also, Max the Impaler joined Frank's faction after they took his candy necklace. So that was fun.
Wow.
Those are the highlights, I think, of the show. Off the top of my head, it's fantastic. It's over on Pro Wrestling TV on replay. But damn it, that Vikingo! There's gonna be footage popping up on their social media. So, Wheels learned that Scotty Too Hotty steals cameras and babies. He did steal a baby.
He did steal a baby.
Yes, on Saturday
That's
night.
legit.
What's that? That is legit. Then the baby started crying.
Yeah, the baby did start crying. Baby did okay because he made himself from one side, started coming up the back of the ring where we saw because we're hard cam, and then as soon as the baby started crying, he took it back.
He's out.
It was sight to see.
I think they stretched the baby as far as they possibly could.
How are they stretching babies?
That's how they do it in West Newton. Mike.
RWA, man, it's a different place. Different place entirely.
Oh boy.
8-year-olds are getting what's coming to them. Babies are getting stretched out. That's how you get them started. That's how Super Hentai got trained in.
That's gonna be the first scene in Zac Efron's Von Erich movie.
Yeah, probably. Oh man.
Baby's getting stretched.
Jeez.
Whatever happened with Liev Schreiber's Chris Benoit movie that I kept hearing rumors about?
Nope.
Okay.
Doc, it's not happening.
Doc, what'd you learn? Doc, what'd you learn from wrestling last night? This guy just killed all of your compression there, apparently. Doc, what you learn? What'd you learn from wrestling this week, and what'd you learn from 14 years of RWA?
14 years of RWA, I learned patience is virtue.
especially when dealing with that crew. That's every that's every long-standing wrestling promotion, though. Like, if you've been there more than a couple years, you have likely tolerated a lot, and that's everybody, even the ones I like. Like, just that's just the wrestling business.
And what I mean by patience is virtue is I was really down on myself when I first started. I was nervous, I was scared, and just getting thrown into that right away. Second ever event, I was there, and they were like, do it. This is what you've always wanted to do. And like I said, I'm very proud of 14 years because if you think about it, that's also my anniversary. 14 years of commentating professional wrestling. So it was kind of cool to start there and now branch out. Myself, Tony Kincaid, both of us, branching out to different promotions, doing great things, not only at RWA but also at Revenge and Erie. 2PW, of course, this Friday night, so definitely people show up for that one. And like I said, myself going to Eclipse, which is a promotion out in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Special happy birthday goes out to Freak. I know he's not that big of a fan of mine, but to being one of the most dangerous managers I've seen in a long, long time, the man does scare me, and he has quite the entourage 2PW. So happy birthday to him. What I learned about wrestling this week is just a simple fact is if you rate something and you give it multiple stories within one, you can go so many ways with it. There's so many audibles that you can call. So I'm excited to see where the Royal Rumble takes us. I'm excited to see, do we see the head of the table taking on The Rock? Do we see the head of the table taking Cody Rhodes? Or do we see him putting overtime in and working both nights? One night Cody, one night the Rock, and that's how you split up the belts. Well, at least one of them, because I'll be damned if the Rock gets another win in WWE. But that's just my opinion.
Yo, from the chat room, Alex Miller out in Cali learned that Nick Gage loves gummy bears.
Gummy bears are fire.
Okay.
Who doesn't?
Gummy bears are great.
Have you ever had a chocolate covered gummy bear?
Delicious.
You ever had
Delicious.
I don't get down with those. I don't get down with those.
They are the only thing that got me to and from Erie one show.
Mm.
Doc was in the
Oh.
car.
Yes, I was. Those car trips are amazing, especially when you involve the Rev and a small child.
Oh, whoa.
He learned a lot of things that night. I'm still punishing him.
Mm.
So what I learned in wrestling this week was I finally caught up Young Rock.
Oh.
And
A
I was
couple of
like,
Good show.
it's a good show. I was really, but I was like, I'm watching. I'm like, I remember this era, but I don't remember no Chad Frost.
Okay. Oh.
And I started putting it together, and that's what I learned in wrestling this week.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a
hold
couple
on.
episodes behind, so I saw the debut episode of Chad Frost.
Oh no, that's it. That's all.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the.
So-
I hate to ask,
so-
guys. I hate to ask, who the hell is Chad Frost supposed to represent?
That's
'Cause
the
I'm trying
debate.
I have an idea, but I'm not gonna. I have an idea.
I have a theory on who it is.
I also have
I
a theory.
heard Shawn Michaels. I heard Ahmed Johnson.
I've thought Ahmed Johnson.
Mhm.
It's not Ahmed Johnson.
It's not Ahmed Johnson.
I don't think so. I think
I
it's
thought it
Sean.
was the Godfather.
No, it's Sean. It's 100% Sean.
See, okay.
He got
I
hurt?
thought,
He's right. He
thought
got
it-
hurt.
but I thought it was Ahmed because Ahmed was supposed to be in the nation.
But they made the comment that he was one of the two top wrestlers, and he got hurt. And that's how they-
Ahmed was at the time.
Yes,
He was the second
Mm.
babyface. He was the second babyface. I'm sorry, he was. I know we don't like, but if you remember the pops he got, Ahmed
especially
was,
going against the Nation.
Yep, Ahmed
Mhm.
was the second biggest babyface.
Hmm.
He
His
was definitely.
promos were horrible. Fabouk. He couldn't say Farouk. He would say Fabouk. I was a guy, and it was like, wow, he cannot speak. He
Yeah, I
was
still
really
think
bad at
it's Sean.
promos. Really
still
bad
think
at
it's Sean.
promos.
Yeah, because like at least Sean wasn't around
Yeah.
for a lot of that
Yeah.
time. That's why I didn't think it was Sean. That's why I jumped almost immediately to Ahmed.
That's why I didn't say anything either. But because if you think about it, if you look at future episodes, there is someone playing Shawn Michaels in it.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of like threw off the Shawn Michaels thing. This Shawn Michaels theory. So
But I was.
Then I guess I didn't learn anything in wrestling this week.
Well, you
This
learned
is a
Young
useless-
Rock's a good show.
This was a useless week for me. I did nothing of value.
the 14-year anniversary show was nothing of value.
It wasn't my 14-year anniversary. All I know is RWA got really good in November 2018, and I haven't looked back since. That's the anniversary we should be celebrating.
Oh, okay.
I saw some of your old stuff. Woohoo! You really needed me to bring you in.
It's
there,
all
bud.
on YouTube. Well, almost all of it.
Do
I
you
guess.
really want to go there?
I think everything
Well,
but the
no.
first year maybe is up there.
By the
Like-
way, Sorg, don't listen to the first Mayhem Mania. We had some growing pains.
Oh yeah.
We had some growing pains.
Okay.
Doc, I'm
Yeah.
not saying it was. I'm not saying it was horribly bad. I'm just saying your stuff pre-Kincaid is all on the YouTube page, and I'm behind a paywall. So,
Wait.
like,
Wait. What was wrong with Mayhem Mania?
No, it's just offhanded comments here and there and everywhere by kind of all of us.
Just generally, is this?
Yeah,
like,
just
as in, like this
it
is
was
why we have
generally
this is why we have a clock now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just weird.
Okay.
It's just weird. I sent you the whole spreadsheet, by the way. So
Oh
you can
boy, here we
take
go.
a look at your leisure.
Here we go. I think we got everybody, guys.
Oh no, I didn't.
Oh
say
yeah,
one.
Mike, what'd you learn?
I learned. Oh boy, I learned that Kurt Angle just always wanted to be in a faction. First, he tried being in the Shield. He tried being in DX.
Yep.
I want to see Kurt Angle try to be in the Bloodline next. That's what I'd like to see. I don't think it. I mean, he already points up the 1.
He tried invading. He tried invading my brunch with Dutters one day.
But yeah, and I also learned that Mayhem Mania is a really fun thought experiment because we go places in that
Stretches.
places that I forgot we went to,
Mm-hmm.
and oh boy, like the bad blood that happens in Mayhem Mania. Like, thankfully it dissipates. Thankfully we only do it once.
There's a couple people that don't respond to my messages when I ask if they want to come on the anniversary shows and stuff like that. And now I'm one to wonder, is it because of Mayhem Mania they don't come back?
Well, no, I mean,
did something get burnt that somebody's still holding on to out there?
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should have the Lebanon Dawn back for a while because, well, that was just a really odd episode of Mayhem Mania.
Yeah. There was a lot of money being thrown around.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't have to worry about hosting for a few months. Anyways, thank you so much. Chris LaRusso will be with us next week of Rise Wrestling. Thank you, Tony Kincaid, for joining us once again.
That is my name. Part owner, Mr. Rats in trench coat, Tony Kincaid.
Yes, the boss. Yes. And also, you'll be getting that message later this week.
Awesome.
And also, Michael Daugherty.
Hey, thanks again for having me. I really appreciate it. Like I said, this Friday night, 2PW.
That's right.
WW2. So definitely show up for it. It's going to be a great show.
Absolutely. And remember, Doc is the MVP of RWA.
MVP? I wouldn't go there. Nope. Not MVP.
Production MVP.
Production MVP. Okay.
There you
Because
go.
you have to do some edits
What?
to fix my shit.
You're not the one I've had to edit and have a talk.
I wonder who that would be.
You're the one. You're not the one I've had. No. It's not even Tony that I've had a content edit conversation with. Remember, I was mad at church. I was mad at church about some of his comments, and then he told me why it was okay.
Why it was okay.
Yeah. So I think Tony knows about that. Anyways,
I do know about this one.
Wrestling
so, yeah.
Mayhem Show. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Mayhem Nation. Again, hey, please go check out part 2 of our conversation. Jim's conversation with our buddy Eamon and Merlin. Buddies, Eamon and Merlin. Catch up with what was Eamon up to since he disappeared from the Wrestling Mayhem Show over on fishingwithoutbait.com as we talk with the host of the new show on the Sorgatron Media Network, Gay and his NB. And I know we do have some reality show fans on this show. I think you should check it out. Go check out that over there, sorgatronmedia.com. You can check out all the episodes in the super feed or look it up on your favorite podcast provider as well. So, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.